Oops. Hey, we can edit that out. That's all right. It's Tuesday at 8 p.m. This is Brian Powers, and you are watching the Idavox Report.
Good evening, y'all. How y'all doing today? I'm Daryle Jenkins. Brian Powers and Christian Perez are here. Leah's in the background, kicking in and making sure that we all look and sound beautiful. And I have that cup somewhere, and I can't find that cup. Damn
I
it.
don't have one up here. It's really embarrassing. His cups I manufactured actually myself, with my own two hands. Christian's got one. He's looking for the podcast audience, or point out to the Revolution Radio coffee mugs. Limited editions, which no longer available. You say you don't chip that thing, man. That thing's
a collector's item now.
No,
that's millions.
I got. Oh please! I got so many collector's items, but that's a gem. That's a gem.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm famous, if I'm shown drinking from it, the value of it goes up even higher.
That's what it is. You should sign your name to it too.
I was about to say we should start doing some product placement. You have to sit here and take a sip of a Diet Coke, put it down. Take a sip of a Gatorade, put it down. Starbucks, put it down.
Yeah, and I just want to let everybody know I am doing this from my brand new MSI GE75 Raider laptop.
Ooh, nice.
It is very impressive. It is 1 terabytes and 8 gigabytes of memory card, and it's kick ass. And I really need this because I do a lot of video editing. It's a gamer's laptop.
Do you have a solid state? Do you know what the solid state hard drive? Does it have a solid state hard drive on it?
I believe it has. I believe it does have an SSG.
Does it whir a lot? You'll know. They don't make any noise. That's how you know if it's got the solid state, because it doesn't have the little the fans.
Yeah, I think I gotta check and make sure. I see Cooler Boost 5. I think it. I don't think it's solid state. I don't think it's solid state. I might be wrong. In any case,
you look good, though, Daryle. You look good.
Yes, and it has a very good camera.
Great. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but so as you probably learned from the promo, if you saw the promo, there's not going to be any guests today. Because if you also saw the promo, I was having a good time last weekend. We had ourselves rather united against racism and fascism, a group based out of New York, but they connect with people globally. They had an Anti-Fascist festival. And I left all my decals that I got from there over there on the other desk. So when we cut to the clips, I'm going to go sneak over there and grab them. But they had an Anti-Fascist festival to celebrate the first day of spring. We had it on Saturday, and I wanted to talk about it because I think there was a lot of things that I had been doing this weekend and last weekend that I think is important when it comes to getting everyone together to basically fight what's coming up. We just simply got to start reminding people that Trump is gone, but his supporters are not. As a matter of fact, Trump's not gone. He's just not in the White House anymore. And we just got to reinforce the fact that he was really just a symptom, to be honest with you. And,
well, we've known that.
Yeah.
I will take the opportunity, since you left it wide open for me to plug the broadcast that Christian and I did last night with Dr. Letitia Sampson from Great Counseling. And, I asked her when we were interviewing, I said, what happens when the fantasy collapses, right? Your leader has kind of been taken down a peg. I won't say he's gone, and she said, it just keeps going. The fantasy just changes. There's no, just because he's not president doesn't mean he's not their savior anymore. And I've heard a lot of people call Donald Trump their savior.
Yeah. 81% of white evangelicals voted in favor of Donald Trump, the most irreligious person out there. So
insanity. It's massive.
I remember one. There's a character who's actually Tony Perkins. He once said that in regards to Trump, that they were giving him a mulligan, and I'm an adherent to the word, and that didn't see mulligan in the Bible. You don't give. You're not in a position to give anyone a mulligan. Christ did not say, "For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God." But that Trump dude, I didn't see that in the Bible. So,
he's not in the Bible, thankfully.
Oh boy, but he's in the Bible. He is in the Bible, but I don't think he'll like where. We're all in the Bible. We're all in the Bible, but in roundabout ways. I mean, the Bible is supposed to be talking to us. Here, I'm going to get my theological hat on. So let me just get off this thing.
You got it, Reverend.
That's your show, bro.
If y'all turn to the Book of Ruth, chapter. No. Funny, I brought up Ruth.
Call it the Book of Idavox.
There is no Book of Idavox in the Bible.
There should be.
And I think I brought up Ruth and Purim just passed, I believe, too. So,
yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. But no, I got to tell you, it was a great day, and they asked me to speak. I want to before we show video of me speaking and giving me a chance to do some things over here. We could talk about what it is I said in the at the event, but I think it's important to also big up the folks in Greece, the anti-fascists out in Greece, who that same day they were out in the streets out there trying to deal with the fascists out there that are using the anti-immigration campaigns, just like they are here, just like they are everywhere in Europe, for that matter, to basically push themselves. And Greece don't play. The Greece anti-fascists don't play. I mean, they just routed the Golden Dawn. I mean, the Golden Dawn stepped up, thought they was going to do some stuff, and now they aren't worth a damn. So
a lot of them got locked up, right?
A lot of them got locked up. I mean, we're getting a mirror image of that when you're talking about the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers now, but it ain't nothing compared to what Greece has been doing. I mean, come on, man. They took out two members of the Golden Dawn in a drive-by.
Oh wow!
All right, a couple of years ago, and the people that did it were never caught. So at least as far as I can tell, they were never caught. So
well, Golden Dawn is they've been criminalized now, right?
They've been criminalized now. Yes.
I mean, that's the level. I mean, people don't know what Golden Dawn is. I don't know who our audience is, but I mean, that's Now, let me ask you.
I think we did an episode on
when people go. I wanted to. Maybe I'll ask you about Golden Dawn because I had a personal concern about Golden Dawn living near New York, and I know where you guys still live, because they had a chapter in New York City.
Astoria, Queens, actually,
maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I don't remember exactly when. Now you say, like, I know the organization has gone through a lot of turmoil, but the people are still around. Where are the people from these America? Are they still working in New York? Or are they kind of like?
It's funny because when it comes to the fascists that were part of the Golden Dawn in Astoria, they were kind of like localized within the community. They really, even when Golden Dawn was in its quote unquote heyday, you really didn't see them out and about beyond Astoria, Queens,
right?
But even with that, their office and their presence here in the United States wasn't really all that big. Now, for those who don't know what we're talking about, Golden Dawn was really a neo-Nazi group. They don't like to call themselves a neo-Nazi group, but then again, neither do our neo-Nazis here, And I mean, they were around since maybe the 80s. They've been around since the 80s in Greece, but they really came into their own when they started really just winning winning elections and they started ending up in Parliament, and everybody was like, "What the hell?" And so it's kind of like the deal with Trump. It's kind of like the deal with Trump. When Trump got into the White House, everybody was all the WP said, "Okay, here's our chance," and it's pretty much the same scenario is playing out now. Now they criminalized the Golden Dawn, and from what one of the prosecutors who was dealing with what happened on January 6th said on 60 Minutes a couple of days ago, they're about to criminalize Donald Trump. They might criminalize Donald Trump. And a lot of the groups that we were dealing with over these past 4 years are done. They're in every level of trouble right now. But it is like you said, we still have to deal with the remnants, whatever's left.
If they deny they're Nazis, like Christian just sent us a file real quick that I can share with everybody. It's is this the Golden Dawn flag, Christian? Or
this is their flag. So if you look at it, it's immediately supposed to look like the Nazi swastika and the flag of the Nazi party. The design is called the Meandros design. Now, for any fans of ancient Greek architecture, art, you're going to see that design. If you go to the museum and you look at a Greek vase, you'll see this design in ancient Greek artwork. So very much like the Nazis or the fascists of Italy, it's always about hearkening back to an imagined past, right? So the Greeks see themselves as many ways as the cradle of Western civilization. So they kind of fawn over that to this day. And, it just looks like a perverted Nazi flag, because that's really what they are. They're just Greek Nazis.
Yeah, that's really what it is. And but they don't want to call themselves Nazis. Yeah. So
no, they suck eggs. Thank you, Bitsoff. They do suck eggs.
Yes.
Indeed.
And welcome. I have never seen Bits of Bites and
I like that Bits of Bites here used the clear Greek suck. Greek spelling.
Shout out to Antiquity. They suck at eggs.
Done. Kudos to you, Bits of Bites.
Oh man! But in any case, yeah. So they were dealing with, and the reason why we came up, I don't want to forget why I brought them up, but the Greek anti-fascists shut them down, but they still got work to do. So one of the things that they did during the festival, as a matter of fact, the first thing they did during the festival was read a statement from Kirfa, which is the Greek anti-fascist, anti-racist movement. Basically, what that, for the record, that stands for Movement United Against Racism and the Fascist Threat. And they're basically trying to build a united front against racism and fascism in Greece, but are trying to do things globally as well. And this is a message that they have put out there during this particular day. Remember, the 21st was the, I want to say, 61st anniversary of the Sharpeville massacre in South Africa, when they killed South African troops killed about 20 people protesting, 20 peacefully 250 protesters in South Africa, and protesting apartheid and all that. And ever since then, we've been, the UN in particular has been observing that day and this weekend as more or less a day against racism and fascism. And this was a message that Kirfa, we read at the festival before when it started. It went like this: greetings from Kirfa, Greek anti-fascist, anti-racist movement for the 20th of March. The working majority of the world in a period of pandemic is faced with the horrific racist policies of governments that breed the fascist threat. The Mediterranean Sea has become the cemetery of thousands of refugees, women, and children trying to escape death, torture, hunger, and climate catastrophe in their countries through the interventions, dictatorships, and neoliberal policies. The Frontex, the closing of the borders with fences, the NATO Navy, the Coast Guard goes hand in hand with the policy of destroying the right of asylum. The criminalization of migration led to vast concentration camps and geopolitical restriction of movement in Greek islands, reminding us of the apartheid policies of racist South Africa. Fortress Europe is the Europe of bosses and the rich who can move freely when refugees are dying. In Greece, the resistance to neo-Nazi party of Golden Dawn that entered the parliament in 2012 with 20 members of parliament and 7% was victorious. It says 20 MPS. I apologize if I got that wrong. Last year, 7th
Ministers
of October.
Of Parliament.
Ministers of Parliament. Yeah, Ministers of Parliament. Last year, 7th of October, the court declared that they are a criminal organization and 40 members of Golden Dawn, including the leader, and I apologize because I know I'm going to spell this wrong. I'm say this wrong. Micalaolis, Miclaolikos, were sent to prison. I apologize for butchering that. This was a success of mass anti-fascist struggle based on unity of different forces, mass action of trade unions with strikes and decisive campaign inside and outside the trial of murders of Golden Dawn for 5 years. Bear in mind, that is, I forgot to mention, the Golden Dawn did kill people, including a well-known rapper, and that was part of what the drive-by was in retaliation to. The international coordination of struggle was very important to defeat racism and fascism. World Against Racism coordination is an important step to this direction. We demonstrate on 20th of March demanding open borders, asylum, paper, and shelter for all refugees, bring down the fences, close the concentration camps. We oppose racism, Islamophobia, white supremacy, sexism, homophobia, anti-Semitism. We stand for women's abortion rights everywhere. We resist the drive for profit of multinationals and billionaires, and we say loud and clear, people of all nations, colors, religions, LGBTQ before profit. We say loud and clear, refugees are welcome here and everywhere. And racism, police brutality, sexual abuse of women, and fascist threat, never again. That's the statement from Kirfa out of Greece. And I'm co-signing every last word of that. Every last word. And I want to thank them for providing that to us on that day. I mean, I really did have a good day that day. And I also want to say to United Against Racism and Fascism, UARF, by the way, if you ever see those those letters. Keep on keeping on. Thank you for having me. This was, by the way, I mean, like I said, after they gave that, there was a lot of people that were there that was there to defend immigrant rights here. A lot of anti-ICE folks out there, and there were some people that spoke on that particular fight as well. And matter of fact, the name of the group that I was that I remember, I think it was I'm turning this around for a minute. The name of the group that I came across that was there was called Operation Ice Watch, and I hope that this thing doesn't tip over or something. Operation Ice Watch. They were out there and they was making sure that people understood what was going on. There were several groups there, and I'm just going to run down the list of them as soon as we come back from something that I had to speak. They asked me to speak. They asked me to speak on things, and I was more than happy to. And we're going to look at some of the things that I had to say. I don't know if Leah had saw the videos in the Google Drive. I see, but I think but I can't. But they are in the Google Drive. If Leah can grab those. So I'm going to stall because I also have to upload one too that I want to show. I want to just say that there was also another thing that I did that day was was it that day? Yeah. Oh wait. Oh, hold on. We got it going on right now. So while y'all watch this, I'm gonna go do some quick work here. So, and then we'll talk about what we hear.
How long is this video? Oh, we got 5 minutes.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
That's cool.
Now we got to get some sound. I don't hear any sound.
No, we're not getting sound through.
Why? Hard.
Our technical support crew is working on it right as we speak.
Now we're doing it. Infinity. Damn it. Oh boy.
Let me see if we're having some issue here. I mean, I can move over some time here. If somebody wants to send me the clip and maybe I could share it from here. If you want to put that link up in the private chat or something. But I will say, I mean, like listening to the statement from the Greek.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me if you can hear the video now. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Let's just let it load.
That's the commercial.
That's the commercial. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you're gonna do it the easy way.
There we go.
Okay. Trying to open it.
There we go.
So while we're waiting, Daryle, how many organizations were involved this weekend in the rally in the city?
There was at least I would say maybe 10 or 11.
Okay, great. And how was the turnout? Were there a good number of people?
Very good number of people. Very good number of people. I mean, remember, this is the first day of spring, chance for everybody to come out. I was able to find parking. I actually drove out to Fort Greene. That was
my next question.
Yeah. I was able to park right near the monument, which is in Fort Greene Park. And there was a little area where there was a good number of us there. Definitely a number of anti-fascist groups, and I'll have some of their decals to show off. There was an Orocho band that played, and they basically just kept the vibe going. And it was a really good day. And I was just telling them flat out that we cannot let this be the last time we see each other. We got to have more festivals like that.
Oh yeah.
And we got to have, I mean, this was the first one really of the season. Really. Yeah. There's going to be more. I don't know. Is Leah, are you ready?
I do believe I am. Let me know if you hear it.
Okay, knock it out.
And it's kind of like we've been telling them that all along. Now they have to listen to us. Now they have to hear.
Do you guys hear?
Yeah, we heard it.
Why Proud Boys say FNT. You know. Now we are going to show them why they are effed by Antifa. Because we got work to do. Proud Boys on the bus. There's going to be more groups coming up. We got people still fighting in Portland now. And the police are always going to be a never-ending threat. Hopefully not too much longer never-ending. So we're going to be out here. I hear that there's supposed to be something going on in Union Square right now. But while we're not there, solidarity with those who are. And we will maintain that solidarity long after today. Because we don't work on their timetable. And it is important that we all make sure that we all get together and get all the information that we can here today about the various groups that you might not even know about. There's a couple of groups here that I'm not familiar with, but I'm going to start networking with them because one of the efforts that myself and a couple other individuals around the country have been engaged in is something called the Anti-Fascist Unity Coalition, where we're trying to do more and more outreach like this, events like this, watch parties and anti-fascist film festivals. We're actually planning one. We're trying to get it together now for May 9th, because not only is that the 221st birthday of John Brown, it's also the 100th birthday of Sophie Shaw. So we want to have an anti-fascist film festival on that day. So hopefully we'll be able to do it. We'll see what happens. If y'all want to help out with that, it'd be greatly appreciated. We don't know where yet. So, and that's the other thing. We want more people involved. We do food drives on the first Saturday of every month. Next one is going to be Easter Sunday. The month after that's going to be May Day. And it's all about just trying to make sure it's time now that not only do we fight, not only do we make sure we hold the line against the fascists that have been basically breaking it over the past 4 or 5 years, but it's also making sure that we stay in tune with each other, making sure that in the end, we all know who we all are and how and what direction we all want to go in. Because if we don't have that, we're going to have more conflicts. We're going to have more problems. And we're going to have more things out there testing us. And we really don't need that now. We're better people than we give ourselves credit for sometimes. And now it's time to show just how much better we can be. So I mean, I really do. I got to tell you, I think one of the reasons why people are out here today is because that's what we want to do. We want to know each other. We don't want to just see each other in little squares on a Zoom screen. I mean, I overheard somebody say it is great to see some folks that we only know from Signal chats and only know from Facebook. It was said that I've been doing this for a long time, 30 years to be exact. My first action was Bensonhurst, and it was and I think that there's a lot in the age of the internet. I'm gonna say things like this. A lot that has changed in the internet where we kind of detach from each other, and we really got detached with the pandemic. We got to get back to knowing who each and every one of us are, and we got to start being able to reach out, not just in NYC, but across the country and globally. There's anti-fascists that we have never really connected to that are holding it down in places like Germany, Norway. There's some anti-fascists in Russia and Ukraine that need our help, and we got all the help we can give them. I mean, it's so bad out there, our anti-fascists are fleeing to Russia and Ukraine.
Meant to say fascists are fleeing.
So these are the things that we got to remember. We are a global people, and we should be able to talk to each other globally. So do not let this day be the last day we see each other. One day, one day soon we'll be able to see each other without these things on our face. Or, yeah, maybe we will. But in the future, in the very near future, we got to get to know each other. And everybody who doesn't know us got to get to know us so they can join us. So thank you very much for your time, y'all. Have a good festival.
I had a good time. And
Sounded like a nice crowd there too.
It was a good crowd. I would say that there was at least, to answer your question, I would say about 50, 75 people. Yeah, easy.
Oh, nice. That's a good turnout.
I mean, yeah, that is a really good turnout.
Yeah, I think like I was alluding to earlier, there was a lot of people who just simply wanted to come out. I mean, the pandemic is winding down, or rather, the restrictions are winding down. People are feeling a lot safer to come out more. And it was the first day of spring, and it was a nice day. Folks wanted to just come out because it wasn't just us out there. I mean, people were just taking in the day all over that park. I mean, it's been a long, long time since I've seen a park that busy. It's also been a long time since I've been in New York. I mean, the last time I was in New York, I was in the church talking to the same crowd. So, and I was really digging the vibe, and some of them actually do want to help with that film festival that I mentioned up earlier. For those who don't know, by the way, I said my first action was Bensonhurst. It was actually outside the trials that were going on in regards to that. And for those who don't know what those trials were, back in '89. And ironically, Do the Right Thing had just came out. And they were and everybody was trying to say that the movie was going to start right. Let me rephrase that. The conservatives were saying that Do the Right Thing was going to spark race riots and silly nonsense like that. Couple of weeks later, there was some sort of nonsense going on in Bensonhurst, New York, where Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, and they were looking. There was some nonsense with a girl that was dating a black dude, and the local knuckleheads decided that they was going to go after this black dude. Along comes Yusuf Hawkins and his friends who were in the neighborhood to buy a car. They're not from Bensonhurst. 16-year-old kid. A white mob just basically set upon them and just attacked them. They basically attacked the wrong guys. Well, even the guy that they were supposed to be going after was wrong. But in the course of all of that, Joey Fama, one of the guys, shot and killed Yusuf Hawkins, and that sparked outrage all over the country. People were pissed. People were pissed about that, and they came out in the streets. It's one of the first things people will remember about Al Sharpton, because he was front and center of all of that. And really, it was one of the things. It was one of the catalysts that got David Dinkins elected mayor. Koch was mayor at the time, and so ironically enough, there was a race riot, and they started it. So, but in the end, just a few of them went to jail. I think Joey Fama is either out or is getting out soon. He's been in there he got the most time because obviously he killed somebody. There was Keith Mandela that's been out for years. And also remember that the catalyst also was that
did he shoot him on purpose? Did he shoot him on purpose?
He shot him on purpose. Remember, you had no business with a firearm in New York. You just not allowed. So purpose or no purpose, he would have gotten in trouble for that. But yeah, it was first degree. It was straight up first degree.
I was trying to remember that's what I meant. Was it first degree or second degree? I do remember.
Yeah. All the drama, all the racist drama that we have seen, basically, I mean, you can go back to Eleanor Bumpurs being murdered in the 80s by the police, or you can go to Howard Beach which was another angry rock mob killing a black man. Or even want to talk about Bernie Goetz. All of this happened in the 80s. Bernie Goetz was the vigilante that shot four black men in the subway. But when Dinkins became mayor, all of a sudden, all the fascists, all the racists, it was all hands on deck. And if I knew I was going to be talking about this, I would show you I will play some of the radio shows, the talk radio shows that were going on at the time. I would show you what the New York Post was saying about Bensonhurst at the time, and you would know what I am talking about when I say that the late 80s, early 90s was really in New York City. That was just a petri dish for what we would call the alt-right. What we would eventually call the alt-right. It really, really was. I mean, the folks that were writing for the New York Post at the time, you also saw writing for American Renaissance. You know,
Giuliani rode that racism to the mayoral office too. They got him on video just dogging Dinkins. Rudy. People think Rudy Giuliani just became bad, but there was a lot of whitewashing after 9/11. Giuliani has been a bully and a monster for a long, long time. The only good thing he did was put John Gotti away, right? So, like, other than that's all. Right?
And he didn't really do that. I mean, somebody did that while he was mayor or something, or rather while Dinkins was mayor. I can't recall, but Giuliani, as a matter of fact, I could actually
he was a prosecutor, I think.
He was district attorney for the feds. But the thing about Giuliani was that he rode that bigot wave all the way into Gracie Mansion, and he pretty much kept it going until finally. Well, I don't really want to say finally. Till finally, he really did get his comeuppance after Amadou Diallo was murdered. When Amadou Diallo was murdered, and he thought that he could still milk that for what it was worth, people were like, "No, you're fucking up now. You really are."
That was when I was in high school. That was a big change in the narrative. Yeah.
We're going to talk about. I think we need to talk about him.
Much was made. I did pull up something because much was made about the Dinkin years and the civil unrest, and I did pull up an article here from 1992 when there was a lot of civil unrest by some hooligans. Thousands of off-duty police officers thronged around City Hall yesterday, swarming through police barricades to rally on the steps of the hall and blocking traffic on the Brooklyn Bridge for nearly an hour in the most unruly and angry police demonstration in recent memory. The 300 uniformed officers who were supposed to control the crowd did little or nothing to stop the protesting officers from jumping barricades, trampling on automobiles, mobbing the steps of City Hall, and taking over the bridge.
Where have I heard that?
The police rioted on their own city in 1992 in New York City.
93.
Well, they just did it in D.C. on January 6th. So hey, those were police officers too.
The article was here. I just looked it up here. The article was dated.
Now, if you go
September
to
17th, 1992.
September 17th, 1992. Okay. What I'm looking for right now is there's a documentary that everybody should look for. It's called Giuliani Time. It's Giuliani Time is a reference to his is what they said to Abner Louima, what the police allegedly said to Abner Louima when they were attacking him, shoving a plunger up his behind. Another horrendous story regarding Giuliani. I mean, I'm actually looking on Twitter for the video of that police riot, because they showed a segment of they showed the video. They showed the police riot in this documentary, but it's a real good documentary for people who want to understand just how bad Giuliani really was. And I don't think I can find it anymore, and it's frustrating, but it sucks as it does. But I mean, I wasn't really expecting.
Great, you don't need to throw a guy in jail for making a bad movie. I mean,
well.
Somebody laughing.
Oh, my wife's laughing at something in the back.
Oh!
Like it timed up with you laughing.
Oh, my joke. Oh, so you could have just done my
no,
joke.
but
you're funny, Brian. She's laughing at you.
Thanks, buddy.
I mean, I really do wish I could find that clip. I honestly wish that I knew I was going to be talking about this.
Are you looking for a clip of that movie? It's Giuliani Time, or what are you looking for in specific?
On Twitter, when Dinkins passed away, and Giuliani had extended his basically extended his condolences, and I was kind of like, "F you, man," after what you did. And I can't right now find that video because I ended up taking that segment and posting it up, and sadly I can't find it. I know I can find it on my computer, but we're just gonna have to move on, and I apologize for not being able to do so. But in any case, and we should do a discussion about Giuliani, our own little Beyond the Bastards thing. We should just basically talk about how bad he was. When we definitely would want somebody who had to go through those days. It was just bad. It was just real bad. In any case,
it's good that this has come full circle.
It's really good that it comes full circle. It's ironic how Sharpton is seen as a more legitimate voice, and Giuliani is now seen as the laughingstock. And
yeah,
and it's basically like
Time Magazine's Person of the Year
at one time. Yeah, Yeah, had the
America's
audacity to
Mayor.
write a book
2001.
called
America's Mayor. They were calling him America's Mayor.
America's Mayor. He wrote a book called Leadership. It's like, we don't want your damn leadership.
Yeah.
And like I said, it all comes full circle. It's just that's one thing about remember, hate has consequences. We don't use that model lightly. I want to get into the kinds of groups that I meant to throw up who else we saw there, but I figured it would be good if we just started showing everybody the decals, the Black and Red Collective. Is
that a martial arts school?
No, but look very.
Is that an armbar? That looked like a martial. That looked like an armbar. I'm just nerding out over here. It looks like somebody in an armbar. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. We also had this group, the New York City Metropolitan Anarchist Coordinating Council. They are all over NYC. They are no joke.
Shout out.
Cosmopolitan Anti-Fascists were there. And of course, they stay true to the New York Cosmos, refugees welcome. They're big fans of course, the great group Barra Brava that I only first heard of like a couple of years ago, and they've been around for 20 damn years.
What is Barra Brava?
Oh, they're kind of like I don't recall what country they're from. I want to say they're from South America.
Like Brazilian colors.
Yeah, they might be Brazilian. But they were and we can look it up if anybody can look it up right quick. But they've been around for like 20 years. They're kind of like a ska band, but saw them for the first time a couple of years ago in Los Angeles, and I was mad that I wasn't in the scene. I would have known about them years ago, and I would have been like, and of course, New York City Anti-Fascists were there, and I did say Ice Watch was there. We got United Against Fascism. We have that. I mean, we got a lot of nice.
All the swag, dude.
Oh yeah, I was rocking. I was swagging it left and right. We got ACAB. I do not know what East Rev is, so I can't speak on that. I need more of these. Much more of these.
Send Daryle your swag, people. If you're watching this, send Daryle your swag. Send him your t-shirts, your posters,
because I'll wear
flags. He's got he rocks the t-shirts. I'm every day I'm jealous of Daryl's t-shirts. Look at that.
Hey, let me tell you something. This is a 2XL, and I didn't know I'll be able to fit this. I'm usually wearing like the 5 on up.
East Rev is a record label, apparently.
Huh?
East Rev is a record label.
East Rev is a record label? Okay, thanks.
Yeah, East Rev Records.
Okay, this is another ACAB. That's a cop car on fire. But no, needless, and this is who was giving them out. So yeah, I had a good time. And I had a couple of people who might want to do the food drive on May 1st. For those who if you heard me in the thing, I was talking about how we do monthly food drives on the first Saturday of the year, and we're not doing it this April because we want to try to gear up we want to try to get everybody to have a national food drive on May Day. Everybody. Every last one of us.
Hey.
So if you want more information, just hit us up at dlj@onepeoplesproject.com. You can hit me up there. But like I said, I had a great time there, and we got 15 minutes. So I want to basically just break into before we go into that, Leah, can you put up the video? Because I forgot to tell you, we had visitors at the festival. But they didn't show their faces. And Patriot Front decided that they was going to tag the park before we got to the festival. They put the stickers up, and the one let me see if it shows up. It should be there. Scroll down. No, scroll back up. It should say something Fort Greene. I don't see Fort Greene up in there, and I know I just put it up there.
The one that I played before says Fort Greene. I'll try.
Yeah, but there's another one. I just put it up. I just I just uploaded it and I don't see it.
Refreshing right now.
I don't know what happened. Okay, disregard. But there it is. I see it.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. Sorry.
I'm not a touchscreen. Yeah.
just tap it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk over it because there's really no
Shout out to Nika Howell from last week.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Love that conversation. I really did.
Yeah, make sure to go back if you're just checking out the Idavox report. Go back on Revolution Radio and take a listen. We're a couple months in now, and they've all been great. They've all been good. There is no duds yet.
Yeah,
we're gonna keep going. I think we're on. I don't know what the streak is for most good podcasts in a row, but we're going for.
Well, this
let us know what that is.
Right. Well, I don't know if this is going to come. Hopefully, it will come up okay. Okay. See, basically, what this is that they put up "fuck Antifa," or rather, no, they had "death to Antifa," "White Lives Matter," "fuck BLM." They put their Patriot Front decals all over the park, and we just took them down. We scrubbed it out. And eventually, they removed the paneling that they had tagged, and as you can see, it says "White Lives Matter" a little bit and "fuck BLM." But eventually, those panels were removed. So they were there, but they didn't want us to see them. So
I think Neanderthals survived. I really do. I think that they really didn't. They say that the human species, outbred them and existed, but this is clear.
For the record, I wouldn't put this crowd in the category of Neanderthals simply because Neanderthals, for their day, were smart.
They did. I may be giving
insulting Neanderthals.
Well,
stop being a Neanderthalist.
Let's stop insulting
Neanderthal activists after me next week.
We're gonna start saying, all right, we're gonna start sounding like a Geico commercial.
Yeah, right.
All right, but I don't want the day to go by. If we have to go long for this one, because I don't think we have to, but I want to give a shout out to we were talking earlier about, I just read the Greek communique, and there is a need for us to unite globally. I always deal with the fascists uniting globally. I think it's high time that us in the States and us outside the States start coming together and start saying, hey, how can we help each other? So that was one of the reasons why I participated on the 13th in a webinar along with Spencer Sunshine, who invited me for a webinar with German anti-fascists. And it was a really good conversation. Got a chance to learn a lot from them, and it was funny because that same week I was picking up some German decals from a collective called Disgusted Youth. I don't know if that's going to come out all that well with all that glare, but they have a lot of anti-fascist swag, anti-fascist decals, shirts, and stuff like that. This is my favorite one. You can't read it, but in German it says "dress warmly." So I love it. I love it. But anyway, I had it was a really good conversation. I loved having the conversation with folks out in Germany. But before I went to the festival, just a couple hours before I went to the festival, I was in a webinar with folks in Norway, anti-fascists in Norway, and I was getting to learn and understand what it is they were dealing with and who it is they were dealing with out there. And it can get rough up there. Remember that.
I would imagine so, man.
Remember what July 22nd, my birthday, is going to be the 10th anniversary of the Oslo shootings.
Yeah.
So that's on the forefront of their minds. Plus, there was a lot of other cases of people out there, of folks of color, indigenous folks getting folks of color. Being murdered by neo-Nazis in recent years. So they I think we really all need to start connecting with each other. I started floating the notion of an international anti-fascist conference, and I would like to have it here in the States, or at least in North America, because I think it's high time that we have that connection.
Have it in the capital of fascism.
Yeah, you could probably.
Right?
We might.
Belly of the beast.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of bellies. There's a lot of bellies and a lot.
I wanted to ask you about Norway. Like what level when you talked about these murders and stuff, it's concerning, and those countries are kind of known for being somewhat homogenous in racial mix. I know you're a minority, you're really a minority, and I'm just curious at what level these fascists are in political power. I mean, like, I think they're still viewed as outsiders to an American political system, but we talked about Golden Dawn actually achieving some genuine political power. Do you see political structures in Norway that are akin to Golden Dawn, or not as bad, or are they fringe?
I guess there is. I mean, every country has them. Every country has them. But I am trying to talk with somebody from that was on the panel, that was in the webinar, to see if they can come on the show and talk about that. I want to try to get somebody from the German webinar, and it'll be really eye opening. And I said, look, I really would like to have y'all on the program at some point. And if we do that, obviously it may not be a live broadcast of that interview simply because of the time zone, but time difference. We're going to do this. We are truly going to do this.
Is there a Norwegian version of Marjorie Taylor Greene?
There's a Norwegian version of Marjorie Taylor Greene. There's an Australian version of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Well, her name is Pauline Hanson.
Marine Le Pen.
Marine Le Pen is the French version, and
she's the French version.
And the difference between her and Marjorie Taylor Greene is that she's successful at it.
And Le Pen's open, and her dad was open.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to say. That's a generational thing. That's a family freaking affair.
It's a great.
I mean,
Mussolini's granddaughter's in politics too. And
Mussolini's granddaughter. I mean, she's sick. I forgot her name, but it is if we want to make sure we deal with these clowns. But yeah, this is all the more and let me tell you something. Marine Le Pen, I think I brought her up before because she had started an organization within the EU that brought all the nationalists in Europe together. I remember they were called Europe for Nations and Folk, I believe. Let me try and make sure I got that one correct. Europe for Nations and Freedom. I don't think it's folk. I think it's Europe for Nations and Freedom. But that group is gone, and now there is another group that's within the EU that I'm trying to.
The European Parliament, yeah.
Not the Europe. Yeah, it's not. Obviously, the European Parliament is a mess. I don't really want to go there, but Europe of Nations and Freedoms. That was the group within the European Parliament.
There was no freedom in it.
Yeah, I mean, they were the smallest within the European Parliament during the 8th European Parliament term with just 37 members. But then for the 9th European Parliament in 2019, they got replaced by the group that's there now called Identity and Democracy. That's the group Marine Le Pen is pretty much running, but actually it's chaired by a fascist named Marco Zanni, and he's out of Italy. And but it all goes back to the fact that if they're uniting, we're going to unite.
Yeah.
So basically, we just have to step to it. So we're going to be doing that over the next couple of years. We're going to be connecting. If we can get folks, even if it isn't a full-on international conference yet. I still want to try to get folks here to speak and to participate in panels that we could probably have at the National Press Club for all we know, and have them in DC to basically just drive home the fact that we do have issues. We want to try to get them on college campuses. we are seriously going to start working towards that. I think that's going to be our mission over the next year or so. So yeah, we're going to be networking. We're going to be bringing them over here.
Donate, help us out and donate. You gotta plug gay ass story. This is my job, is to shout out for me every once in a while.
Well, that's where I was coming from. I mean,
you were gonna get to it. No, I figure you're too nice to ask for money sometimes.
That's why I'm always broke. But
that's right. That's right.
But I'm supposed to be broke. One People's Project is the group that is what needs the money.
That's
so if anybody can help, and
One
don't forget, there's also
/donate.
onepeoplesproject.com/donate. You can also go over there. Incidentally, a lot of people are going to get to know me real well real soon, because apparently they're doing a feature story about me in the Progressive. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be coming out in April, and I'm looking forward to see how people take to that. We're getting close to time. We're about 3 minutes out, and I just want to say we're not going to be here next week. We're not going to be here next week. Hopefully, when we come back, we'll probably have somebody from either Norway or Germany. I'm going to be working on that over the next couple of weeks, next couple of days, I should say. And we also, I do not want to, excuse me, I do not want to be, I don't want to be remiss to note that at the same time that we was having the festival, there was folks calling out anti-Asian hate in Washington Square Park at the same time. And at that rally, somebody attacked someone. And he's sitting up there. He's in jail right now, arrested on hate crimes. I don't know where the hell people's heads are at over these past couple of weeks. I mean, we just had a shooting yesterday, and it was like, I mean, I was listening to the CNN anchor woman was saying, we're just getting out of the pandemic, and this is the first thing we go back to.
Yep.
MASH. It's like, yo.
Are you really surprised, though? Nobody's surprised. Like,
I'm scared.
I'm tired of being surprised.
These are just the first couple of lunatics that have come out of their house, and there's a whole bunch more people that have lost their fucking minds over these last 2 years that are gonna, first be safe and get vaccinated, and then come out and shoot everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm at the point where I'm not for gun control at all. Don't get me wrong. I'm actually the complete opposite of that. I think I'm at the point where all these places that have gun control, thinking that will solve the problem. No, it won't. You're gonna have to make sure that people can defend themselves. Seriously, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that one. There, I don't care. I really don't care. The fact of the matter is, if you're not going to stop these knuckleheads, and by the way, let's suspend what I was about to say, because I got to throw this one out here. I'm really getting pissed off about everybody that's just, whenever any of these things happen, everybody goes in the position of saying, okay, is he white? Is he Muslim? Is he black? This ain't a damn competition. The shit should not be happening to anyone, period. I mean, okay, so they arrested a white guy. But the white guy has a Muslim name. So what's going on? Or rather, I'm sorry, has an Arabic name. I don't even know if it's Arabic. I might even be wrong about that.
He's a jiu-jitsu guy too.
Yeah. So the thing is, we don't know what this problem is about.
The problem. Well, I mean, look, I wouldn't take race away from it, because this is America and race plays into things. But I'll say it. So I want to precurse my statement with that. But I'll say that the real problem with mass shootings, and I'll agree with the right in saying that it's not a case of people, too many guns on the street. It's a case of a mental health system that doesn't work, an economy that doesn't work. People are out of jobs. This exacerbates the problems of race and violence and all this. And the bottom line is, we can't run a country with this much poverty and expect people not to be killing each other out of either mental distress or ultimately a need for resources. Desperate people do crazy shit, man. And I think race plays into it, but ultimately the way we're running our society economically, I think is a larger factor in all these shootings than what if it's a black dude or a white dude. Now that's not to take away from all the racist motivated shootings that have happened. I don't think I want to take that away, but I think the core is an economy that only works for like a couple hundred people and the rest of us can get fucked.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of different issues coming together.
Yeah, go. Yeah, I was
it's I'm sorry. Go
on. Because
there's a lot of overlap. I mean, a part of it is mental illness. A part of it is racism. A part of it is economic failure, economic collapse. Yeah, I mean, it's all these gear up into a perfect storm, and we need to ask ourselves, why is it always a race between white guys and Muslim men or people with Arabic names? Like, why is it those two groups? What frustrations are they dealing with? What myths or conspiracy theories are they being fed? So there's a lot in there that I would look at, just to piggyback on what you guys were saying.
Yes, Warren Albert. Yeah, he was Syrian. Yes, he was Syrian.
He was Syrian.
21 years old. I would say I want to preface this by saying that when the right does bring up the mental illness factor, they don't really give a shit about that either. Yeah. If we ask them to put money into help people with mental illness, they won't do it. So,
well, I do. I mean, I do. And what
I do too.
I'll tell you why, because I am very open about having mental illness and dealing with mental illness. I'm not a psychotic. I'm not a sociopath. I have and have owned guns, and I am, a guy that likes, I believe in ownership of guns. I don't want to take away that right from anybody. And some of the first stuff I hear is, well, we got to make sure the mentally ill. And I heard this from Ted Cruz, by the way, that we got to make sure that the mentally ill don't have guns.
Yeah, it's a deflection.
That's coming after. That's something that comes after me personally, and it shows a scapegoating of the mentally ill as opposed to saying, well, we have so many mentally ill people because we don't have enough doctors and all the other stuff that we talked about.
Look, you could take. I mean, somebody with PTSD would be totally fine in a gun range. I mean, somebody with PT. I mean, somebody once asked. I mean, after what's his name, the subject of the movie Sniper. I mean, he got killed by someone with PTSD. At a gun range.
Yeah, but he was kind of a racist himself. The American Sniper guy. I'm forgetting
American
his name,
Sniper. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. I mean, it's not so much about him that I say that about. But I'm just using him as an example. But in the wake of that, someone asked, "Would you?" There was some sort of discussion that I was that somebody was having on radio or on TV that was saying Chris Kyle, but they was talking about his murder, and somebody had asked another person, "Would you go to a rifle range with somebody that had PTSD?" And the dude batting an eye said yes. Because the PTSD can still be controlled, can still be contained. And really, that's not the reason necessarily. That's not the factor. But
no, PTSD is not, it doesn't make you hallucinate. And when people talk like that, they just show that they're ignorant. I mean, PTSD, it's not going to make you go delusional. It's just kind of this hard to control anger. You have certain triggers and stuff like that. But it's not he probably had PTSD in something else or whatever. Or we just
and we're talking about Chris Kyle's murderer.
You don't. But PTSD isn't schizophrenia. It isn't. It doesn't make you lose your sense of reality. Right. And I think that we have to start to understand that just because you're mentally ill doesn't mean you're crazy. I don't know anybody, quite frankly, that doesn't have some form of anxiety or depression or anything under capitalism. So
it's just a way for them to not address the issue.
Yeah, it's kind of a ridiculous issue because everybody's got some kind of form of mental illness. Everybody should be in therapy, as far as I'm concerned. But where's the line at which,
especially in this past year,
and when I'm hearing these broad brush, like we got to take away guns from the mentally ill, I'm like, holy fuck, like, dude, I just get a little upset sometimes and need to eat more ice cream than most people. Leave me alone with my guns,
Just take guns away from the dude beating his wife. Take guns away from the dude who has a history of violence.
Which is ironic. Which is ironic. No, that is actually true. 40% of domestic violence cases are cops, which is why it's interesting when Critical Thought Critique puts in here, when they start with gun reform, it ends with further militarizing the pigs, and it's like, yeah, it does, and interesting what happens when that's the case. It's like I'm glad Critical Thought Critique said that, because that's true. That's true. I mean, Critical Thought Critique was talking about the fact that, yeah, less guns for us, more guns for them, and they don't want us around. And it's like, But the thing is, the other thing that I would say also when it comes to these mass shootings, we seem to be seeing them at a steady clip. Boom, 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 boom. But in truth, we've been seeing them at a steady clip for a very long time. Remember how back in the day we used to call it going postal?
Yeah.
Because for some strange reason, and I mean, for those of you who are too young to remember this, for some strange reason, post office employees were engaging in mass shootings in the workplace. It was just one after the other. So to the point where the whole term going postal was born.
Yeah.
And then it just stopped.
Well, they turned it into a joke rather than get people therapy.
Yeah.
Let's turn it into a joke. And then rather than, my brother's a mailman, and it's not an easy job, right? And these guys are overworked. These men and women, they're overworked. They're underpaid. And they got to deal with a lot of crap. And then again, when you add years of abuse on that, you're going to see people snapping. I mean, it's, yeah.
I mean, well, happily, you don't, I think the the USPS got a handle on it and tried to make it so that their people are taken care of, because we haven't heard about anything like that in years. That's why I said a lot of folks might not even remember that. But now I'm going to look at the USPS after you get rid of the joy and say, okay, let's see if we can apply whatever it is the post USPS did and apply it to all of us in general. We might need that. We might need whatever. I mean, I don't know what worked for them. Will it work for society at large?
Gotta hope so.
I mean, so, all right, y'all. Like I said, we're not going to be here next week. We're going to take a break. We're going on vacation. We're going on spring break.
It's everybody on the surfboard across the
well, we're also going to be safe having spring break too. I mean,
there we go.
I'm still going to be working, but we're just not going to have a show next week. But the week after, I really do hope that we can get some folks from across the pond to come speak to us about their thing. And I really would like to try to get somebody from UARF to come and speak as well. We're going to be on talk. I want to be talking with them in the near future too. And they're watching this. So hopefully they'll say, well, yeah, they will say. So yeah, it's going to be, we're going to be putting together these shows at a steadier clip. We're going to have a lot of guests that we have been missing. We're going to bring back some guests too. I'm serious. We are going to talk about Giuliani.
Let's do it.
Maybe we'll spend the next 2 weeks. No, you know what? We're going to talk about Giuliani the next time he's in the news, and we're going to make him a beyond. Sorry, Robert Evans, if by any chance you are watching this, we're taking Giuliani. I don't know if you had Giuliani on deck or anything like that, but we got to do him. We got to do his story.
You just brought up PTSD with me, and now you're going to make me talk about Giuliani. People better don't. This is one of the ones I'm doing for money.
We should review the bad James Wood movie. They made that movie, the made-for-TV movie with James Woods.
Why did you remind me of that? Lord, forgive me for using your name in vain.
All right, let's go.
Let's do a review of the bad James Woods Giuliani movie.
Oh boy. I forgot all about that. I only saw one part of that, and that was like the beginning when he showed Giuliani rushing out to deal with what happened on September 11th. It was like,
oh God, yeah.
I would say to everybody, however, watch if you can find it. I think it is on YouTube. Watch Giuliani Time. We'll get to Giuliani, but when we do, I want to have some people that are going to be on board to talk about his tenure and how bad he was. So, all right, y'all. Brian, Christian, Leah, I want y'all to have a good chill week. So
we will, man. Thanks a lot.
And all of y'all who showed up, all of y'all who was here today, I want to thank y'all for supporting this show. We've only been on since February, and we're already going on vacation. And once again, I want to send love to folks in Atlanta and in Boulder, Colorado. We got your back. We got your back, and hopefully that's it for the year. We should be so lucky, and failing that, everybody just stay safe. We still got to look out for each other, even if there isn't a pandemic, and now we know why. So take care. We'll see you in about 2 weeks, y'all. Peace.